Okay, good evening, Marines, corpsmen, family members, and honored guests. It is my privilege to introduce tonight's guest speaker, the 20th Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, Sergeant Major Carlos A. Ruiz. Sergeant Major Ruiz's story is one that embodies the American dream, the Marine Corps ethos, and the power of service. Born in Sonora, Mexico, he immigrated to the United States and enlisted in the Marine Corps from Buckeye, Arizona on November 2nd, 1993. Like many Marines, he began his career with no special advantages, simply a willingness to work hard, learn, and earn his place among the ranks. After graduating from recruit training at MCRD San Diego in 1994, Sergeant Major Ruiz began his career as a supply warehouse clerk. Over the next 3 decades, he would serve in virtually every corner of our Corps, from Okinawa to California, from recruiting duty to the drill field, from Iraq to Afghanistan, and from unit leadership to the highest enlisted position in the United States Marine Corps. His operational service includes deployments to Iraq during Operation Iraqi Freedom and multiple combat tours to Afghanistan in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. Throughout these deployments, he earned a reputation for being a leader who always put Marines first, whether in combat, training, or garrison environments. One of the things that stands out about Sergeant Major Ruiz's career is that he repeatedly sought out the toughest assignments. He volunteered for drill instructor duty, graduating as the Honor Graduate and Leadership Award recipient of his class. He served as a drill instructor, drill master, physical training instructor, and eventually chief instructor at Drill Instructor School, helping shape thousands of young Marines during one of the most formative periods of their lives. As he advanced through the ranks, he served as a first sergeant and sergeant major at every level, leading Marines in infantry, logistics, engineer, reserve, and expeditionary organizations. His leadership culminated in assignments as the sergeant major of 4th Marine Logistics Group, Marine Forces Reserve, and Marine Forces South, before being selected as the sergeant major of the Marine Corps on August 10, 2023. What makes Sergeant Ruiz particularly respected through the Corps is not just his impressive resume, but his leadership philosophy. In numerous interviews and leadership podcasts, he has consistently emphasized that the Marine Corps' greatest asset is not equipment, technology, or weapon systems, but the individual Marine. He has championed efforts focused on quality of life, leader development, accountability, readiness, and ensuring Marines and their families have the support they need to succeed. He often speaks about treating Marines as people first, investing in their future, and leaving the Corps stronger for the next generation. He has also demonstrated that leadership is about never forgetting where you came from. Whether speaking to young recruits, seasoned NCOs, or senior leaders, he often returns to the values of humility, service, resilience, discipline, and taking care of Marines. Those principles have guided him from a young immigrant seeking opportunity in America to becoming the senior enlisted Marine representing nearly 180,000 Marines around the world. His personal decorations include the Legion of Merit with Gold Star, Bronze Star Medal with Combat V, Meritorious Service Medal with Gold Star, Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal with 2 Gold Stars, Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal with 1 Gold Star, and the Combat Action Ribbon with 1 Gold Star. He also earned a bachelor's degree in organizational management from the University of Arizona Global Campus. Of course, no Marine reaches this level of success alone. Sergeant Major Ruiz has often spoken about the importance of family throughout a Marine's career. We would like to acknowledge his wife, retired Marine Corps Master Sergeant Andrea Ruiz, whose unwavering support, sacrifice, and partnership have undoubtedly been an essential part of this remarkable journey of more than 3 decades of service to our nation. Tonight we have the opportunity to hear from a Marine whose career reflects dedication, combat experience, selfless service, and an unwavering commitment to taking care of Marines. Please join me in giving a warm Walking Dead welcome to the 20th Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, Sergeant Major Carlos A. Ruiz. Semper Fidelis.
As the Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, usually you're the most senior Marine. And by rank, it says I'm the most senior Marine in the Marine Corps. But tonight, I am a boot to all of you, yeah? I am humbled to be in this room. It's incredible to get the invitation. I thought I would be just attending, but then when they asked me to speak, I said, okay, this is going to be a tall order to try to deliver something that you haven't heard before. So I guess I'll start with, it must have been 10 years or so ago, or maybe a little more, when General Neller, then the Commandant of the Marine Corps, and Sergeant Major Green, then the Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, put out an ALMAR, an all-Marine message to the entire Marine Corps. And it was Year of the Reunion. And so this was meant to communicate to the Marine Corps that in the next 12 months, every unit should attempt to bring in units and those who have gone before it into one place and allow the generation of the moment to have a conversation with those giants that set the standard for those Marines. And so when you read something like that, because back then we actually used to read the all-Marine messages, right? When you read something like that, a lot of the units took it as a mandatory training type of check in the box type of thing. But not 1-9. Not 1-9. You actually took that as a standing order, and you've been doing it before that and since then, and that says a lot about your character. So congratulations to you, right? But just to make sure we don't take any chances, there are going to be some rosters that I need you to sign in the back for completed training, okay? I'm sure that there's been, you've been here, 3 days or so? I'm sure in those 3 days, or even before getting here, there must have been chaos. It always is, that's life, right? Flights or vehicle issues or family issues, one way or shape or form, something must have happened. Maybe the name tags are not right, or the microphone wasn't working. I see tape here, so that wasn't working, so that's good. You figured it out because that's just life. It's just the chaos of the moment. Just even at this position last week, I go into the Pentagon with the current credentials that I have, only to leave and have to return and in a hurry to attend an award ceremony, something so important to me, to acknowledge the Marine and their family. All of a sudden, I couldn't get into the Pentagon because it read that my pass had expired, right? And I said to the young, security folks that you just saw me 3 hours ago. I passed through your gate. You let me through. You saw I said, sorry, the rules are the rules, right? And so I ended up, after staying as professional as I could be, I ended up finally getting the appropriate go-ahead, and I was late to this very important ceremony to the Commandant of the Marine Corps, right? And I tell you that because you could easily sit here today and eat your dinner and focus maybe on the things that didn't go right. For those, the folks who took a lot of time to ensure this night was perfect, it's over. It's going to happen, it's going to happen, and people here will enjoy their evening. It is times like this that you don't focus on the chaos and you focus on what's going on. And what I see standing here looking at you are Vietnam vets, hoorah. I see OIF and OEF Marines. Hopefully there's a couple of corpsmen out there. Yeah? A couple of corpsmen out there, good. I see family members, Gold Star family maybe, and everyone in between is here. The important thing is that you are here together at this table, eating something that is probably delicious and beautiful, but that does not matter. It matters who you're next to and all the trials and tribulations that took to get here, because it was worth the trip. I see standing here joy. I see friendship. I see people who are connected. I see support. I see pride. Hoorah. I hear the pride. You walk into this room, talking to the veterans outside, and sitting right there with General Vice. It is pride in this room. I see the walking dead as never before. I see you here taking care of each other like you've always done. You, the walking dead, are here because you walk together. You walk together. You walked through the decades hand in hand, taking care of each other through some of the most horrific things that have ever happened in this world, and some of the things that you may want to forget, or some of the things that are so beautiful that's filled your soul full with joy, or so funny that made you cry because it was so funny. You walked hand in hand together through those decades. You walk through your promotions, you walk through the deployments, you walk through marriages, you walk through careers, you walk through retirements and all the important, significant events in between, and you did that together. If I was a betting man, and I'm not, but if I was, I will probably bet that I can find in this room a couple of folks who would offer their room so others can come and share the room. If someone needed a ride, I'm sure that someone would jump up right away and say, I'll give you a ride. There's probably a few in this room who have cried because you haven't seen each other in forever, and the moment that you saw each other, you recognized each other, there were tears and there were hugs. There were some of you that laughed because you just continued the conversation of last year or 10 years ago or 40 years ago. And that conversation continues. There are some of you here this evening who took extraordinary efforts to come here and spend time with each other because it's worth it. The identity of Y9, the identity of the Walking Dead, is you. It's you, the human being who I always speak for today in this platform as the Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps, that you will always be the most valuable asset to the United States Marine Corps and the brand. The most critical vulnerability of the United States Marine Corps, it's its brand. And you in this room ensure that that brand never lost its luster, and you elevate it to a completely and almost unreachable level. And for that, this generation of Marines will always be thankful to you. Hoorah! In Vietnam, the name The Walking Dead was given to you. And it was given to you out of spite. But you didn't let that deter you. Instead, you took that, you claimed it, and you made it your identity. Years later, the Marine Corps said, you know what? We're gonna sundown the colors of 1-9. And even then, it didn't deter you. Even then, it didn't stop you. Instead, it was fuel that you used to light up that torch that would be passed from generation to generation to ensure that none of you and none of those who have gone before you would ever be forgotten. When the United States Marine Corps said that there would be no more 1-9, over and over again sometimes, that it didn't matter what battle you fought and it didn't matter how many years you served, does not matter. Because what you ended up realizing that it wasn't the torch that you were passing down, it was your legacy to ensure that the flame never went out. And that although the Marine Corps today says that on paper, 1-9 no longer exists, from where I stand, the Walking Dead is alive and well. And all I can hope for is that the next generation of Marines, one generation after another, gets to experience a formation, a unit, a brotherhood, a sisterhood like this one that has lasted for so long and walked so far together. So to all of you, I am humbled to be amongst you. I hope you enjoy the rest of the night. The Marine Corps is proud of you. Semper Fi and Hoorah.